You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
That makes me angry. And when Dr. Evil gets angry, Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset. And when Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, people do!
I'm gonna drink a lot of beer and stay out all night.
Good evening, fellow Fox fans. I tell you what, Mr. Bigglesworth, I don't think there's enough beer for me tonight, I'll tell you. I probably would go out all night if I could do. Don't know whether you'd ever see me again or not. It's Leicester Till I Die. We're out of the Europa League. Let's have a chat about it. You can chat live on YouTube. I put the link in the chat and I'll go and do that on Facebook in a minute. If you want to come on live for a couple of minutes and just have a quick moan or a quick rant, feel free to. We are on Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. That's the easiest way to get on. Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group. Periscope and Twitter at Leicester TID. And if you are going to nip onto the older YouTube, please give us a subscribe. We would appreciate it very much so. And if you do want to listen back to this while you are washing the car or having your eyes pulled out by a knife, you can catch us on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. Ooh, yeah, that was bad, wasn't it? That was bad. Calzum, yeah, 2 words, shit game. Can't argue with that at all. Let's bring my chat chum buddy in now, who I'm sure will not swear at all. Not swear at all. We'll find out. Brad, good evening.
Nothing good about it, mate, but evening.
Go on, I'm just going to put the link up in the Facebook group. So while I do that, give us your thoughts. Overall, we're going to obviously dissect the game in a second. We'll go through the game and the team. But thoughts?
That was like one of my Football Manager saves, mate. And for those of you that don't play Football Manager style games or anything like that, I'm sure you can imagine it's a simulator. You're managing, maybe do career mode on FIFA. That for me was just like one of them, you know, going well in the league, overachieving, doing well, you know, upsetting the apple cart in the Premier League, looking good in Europa, and you think, oh, I can put some other players in today and rest the first team because, you know, you smashed the group with them. They're doing you proud in the Premier League. Because let's face it, that was not a performance. Let's not get on here and say, oh, they're not good enough all of a sudden, because there's players that play today that have been good enough when they've come on and they've played for us. And that was just so anti-Leicester. But it was, wasn't it? It was like a Football Manager save. You just kind of didn't have the reload option because you go out, put your reserves, and they're going to get beat. And poorly. Played poorly. I mean, the game itself, it didn't grab your attention, did it? It didn't grab my attention for about 60 minutes. We just never looked like scoring. And with the situation of the game, they need a goal. Not essentially to beat us, but, because it could have gone extra time, could beat us penalties, but they know a goal makes such a big difference with the stage of the game. And you've got to give credit to Prague. It was just one of them. They turned up. They played us off the park in a lot of parts in that game. The midfield was shaky, and it's why we're out. It's why we're talking about a competition. The finger's going to get pointed again. Oh, I know it's not, but I'm saying it was. That's what I mean. It wasn't like real life, was it? Because it was not Leicester at all that performed. It was dirty reload. Yeah, sorry, I am.
But I mean, I said on the. I mean, yeah. Tasty Fox. Good evening to everybody, by the way. I'm not being rude, not saying good evening to you all. Good evening, Barry. Rory, sorry. Good evening, Tasty Fox. Nathan, good evening. We deserved it. Yes, we did. Not Luke. Good evening, Luke. Simply unacceptable tonight. Every player needs a rollicking from Rodgers and needs to be told any more performances like that for the rest of the season will not be accepted. And Brendan has to answer for this. Well, let's first of all take this, because I had a chat with somebody while the game was going on in Facebook. And I don't know if any of you guys saw my full-time post or not, but basically we lost a game. Yes, it was a cup game. Yes, the performance wasn't brilliant. Brendan got it wrong in my eyes tonight. I think he should have gone out with a stronger team to start with, got the lead and then taken them off, rather than what I could see happening with that team, which was we could possibly go behind and then be struggling to come back. But as a season, Brendan's got it right more often than not, hasn't he, Brad?
Yeah, and and this is rightly, and I understand rightly why there's a reaction that's happening out there today. I'm not saying they're wrong for having that. It's they're entitled to have that reaction when it goes as wrong as it does. And I think that's the concerning problem. When it goes wrong, it's always a dreary performance. I haven't been watching a game. I haven't been watching a game for a long time where I've never thought we've not looked like scoring. I can't. At home, the Aston Villa at home game was probably the last time I didn't see us scoring. And probably before that or after that, I can't remember which way around it was, but Liverpool away. It's probably the only two times I've not seen us score. And even when we've lost this season, we've managed to get a goal, and I felt we could get a goal. It's not been too many times the performance has led to us losing in that manner, and I think it's one. This is going to test them credentials that people are still questioning from last season. This is the result that's going to do it, and we need to bounce back with Arsenal.
He's going to have to. This is where he will earn his money, Brendan, as a manager, as to how he gets the team to react to this. I said before the Aston Villa game, well, post Aston Villa, I think it possibly was, would the real Leicester City stand up? I mean, sometimes, like that first half against Villa, we play absolutely sublime football. But it's not consistent, and I'm not saying I expect a 10 performance every game. If it averaged out to a 7 or 8 performance every game, I'd be happy. But, you look at the Villa, which was possibly an 8 or a 9, and then you look at tonight, which was a 3 or a 4. It's it's like a heart monitor at the hospital. It's so up and down, our performances. There's no consistency there.
I think I get the point, and I know in certain games we probably edged. The most arguable one was we got a last gasp against Brighton. But in fairness, the lads have been doing the job on a professional basis right up until tonight. They've got away with it a few times in certain games, but they were naturally in control of it. And today, look, not an excuse, but it doesn't always help. And eventually, everything that's going on with the club. And I'm not going to, we're not Liverpool, so I'm not saying it's an excuse that we've got injuries, because them players, let's get this right. Until tonight, there was a few players out there that stepped in, like a Marty and Albrighton and that have done a job for us. They've done a fantastic job for us. They've been brilliant. I'm not defending their performances tonight, because it was lacklustre throughout. It was lacklustre up and down the field. But let's not get carried away with the defeat. They say don't get carried away in football. Well, it works both ways. We can't get carried away with this defeat. The apocalypse is not here. Leicester will not crumble, because tonight it was put together with what we had. Maybe not to everybody's imagination and how they thought it was going to line up, but it was still done there. And I do agree Brennan got some things wrong. But it is what it is. We have to go with it. The mentality question needs to be answered on Sunday. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's how I felt tonight. I mean,
yeah.
When I first saw the team and we discussed this on the pre-match show with Josh, and I looked at that and I thought, oh my God, what is he doing? But when I broke it down, Thomas, fantastic game against Aston Villa, scored in the Europa League, and I'm not singling him out at all, because it was, a poor performance by every player out there. But I could see why he's gone with Thomas. You've got Castagna and Ricardo coming back from injury. Albrighton hasn't let us down all season. So, he's been rested as well. So I could see why Albrighton. I've been shouting for Under to be given a chance. He was given his chance. And, Chowdhury was basically, who else could we put in there? When we're talking with Craig, again, possible team for Arsenal, the only other player you could put in there in Acho, and he was obviously, banned for tonight. So it is a team, like you said there, Brad, that has, those players have performed for us this season. But just tonight,
they have.
They just didn't turn up.
No, they didn't. And that's what it is. Tonight was one of them things, and yes, people can easily come out and say Ricardo should have started. I'd be one of them. I think he should have started. And the problem was, for 60 minutes, I didn't really have the full attention on the game, because it just was lackluster. And unfortunately, no matter what we say about this game, it was a 3 out of 4 performance on the pitch. And it's just one of them. It's people just need to vent their frustrations like they're doing, but just do not get carried away with the defeat. It's done with. It's one of the very rare bad performances we've seen this season, and it's very disjointed, and any team is going to do it. Anyone that says, like this, United last game of the season finished before my eyes, watching the performance, are we bottlers? See, again, I understand it's a bad performance, and we were all very shocked and worried about it, but I just want to kind of try and be the referee and the relaxer. It's done. It's get it out of the system, because next week some of them players have got their chance and they've not taken it tonight. And
okay, let's have a look at it this way, because those players, just have a look at a few more comments first. I thought we were going to struggle with creativity with that starting 11. Justin, good evening, Justin. Just seeing that there's no plan today, even at 1-0 down. I couldn't see us scoring before we went 1-0 down. I certainly couldn't see us scoring 2. But like I say, the team that was picked tonight, you would think could give us a performance, because we all work. We all, or we've worked in the past. We've had jobs. I was in sales. Some days I would go in and I would smash it. I would absolutely, bomb the target, salesperson of the day, whatever. And other days, I couldn't. Whatever I could do, I couldn't get a sale. And those players there today, and I was annoyed at, and this is why I'm glad this show sometimes has that sort of 30, 45-minute break till we go live. Those players today have stood up for us in various games this season when they've been called upon, and they've done a job. It just hasn't gone right tonight, and it happens to be the Europa League, but we're still in third place. We're still in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. It's a bad day at the office.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, what didn't help is one time you hear a presenter giving some stats is that Brendan Rodgers hasn't got past the round of 16 or something like that in his last 4. He's not got past it. It's that was a little bit concerning. That's now been stretched. Depends if you really want to look deep into it. I guess that concerns you a lot more than it's as concerning now. But the thing is, let's not forget, we didn't just lose this over 90 minutes. We lost this over. I've done bad maths there. 180 minutes. Yeah. That's 90 plus 90, right? I always question my maths when I do it.
It was.
We lost that over 100. Yeah.
Hang on a second there, mate. Hang on a second. So 90 plus 90. Yeah, 180. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. We lost that over 180, really, because we didn't do enough in the first leg, and we had some pretty strong players out there on that game. Let's face it, we weren't exactly low up front when we were going for it. We had the talent on the pitch, and they didn't perform, so we lost it over 2 legs. You know, I think tonight, especially with the fixtures that we've been around, and we knew this beforehand, where they would fall and who would be playing around it. You know, obviously we're taking everything you take on board. You probably wanted that done in the first leg. And when it's not done in the first leg, and, you know, we've got Arsenal on Sunday, and let's face it, as much as I wanted us to win the Europa League, and until tonight, there was no reason I thought we couldn't, or at least have got further in the competition than what we have. You know, it just shows that I said a couple of weeks ago, didn't I? This is going to be an interesting month, our end of month, and March is going to be interesting, because then we'll see where maybe what competition edges out the most, because we want to battle on all 3 fronts that we were in until tonight. I fully believe that he didn't put out a side to lose tonight. He certainly didn't do that. There's not a chance he did that. But maybe we've just seen that the Premier League is that top 4 finish is now Brandon's front running goal, and maybe that was shown tonight because we just weren't at the races. Even when the better players came on, if you want to word it like that, I don't like it like that. I was, for lack of a better word, I said that. But when Barnes came on, it didn't get much better from there. In fact, after about 10 minutes, it fizzled out. So it's not just
there was a slight improvement when they came on, but it didn't last. I mean, you know, we'd got underplaying down the centre, people out of joint. I mean, are we? And I said this in the pre-match show. Are we kind of hoping to run before we can walk? As a football club, we've got to be looking at. We won the Premier League, you know, and maybe that came too soon. Glad it did, obviously, but maybe it came too soon. Each season, we've got to be looking to get better than we were the season before. You know, there was no God-given right just because we've won the Premier League once, just because we got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, just because it was Slavia Prague, that we are going to walk this competition. We gave it our best shot. It just didn't come off. But look at where we were last season. Look at where we were the season before. We are improving.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I'm sure it's probably being handled in the media. You know, it's a disappointing result. There's no hiding that. It's a team that you'd expect us to beat. And I still say that tonight. I'm not suddenly going to come on here and go, oh, well, remember, they are champions as well. No, we should have beat them tonight. That's irrelevant.
One second, Brad. 1 second. Rory, with comments like that, you've got no chance of getting on. If you think we're talking shite, then I suggest you fuck off and watch another channel. We are having our opinion.
He's saying the pundits on TV are chatting rubbish, not us. See, I've saved you, Rory. I read it properly. See, Chris, get your glasses on properly. He's saying the TV pundits.
Rory, mate, I apologise completely. I thought you were calling us pundits there. Rory, there is a link right up at the top if you want to come on. Click that and come on. And
he's probably gone now, Chris.
Thank you for that, Brad. I'm sorry. I did I did read that completely wrong. I've just posted the link again to YouTube. Hopefully it will go on.
I was slightly calling us pundits till I read it for you.
Nathan, no, I'm sorry. I got it all wrong with Rory. Let's just have a look at a few more comments. The penalty, everybody's mentioned about the penalty. Is this the Chowdhury penalty? Because I don't think that was a penalty.
Well, I mean, I asked the question again because it was never mentioned on the version that I watched it on. It was never brought up. It was never even questioned. Is VAR in the Europa League?
Yes, it was tonight. Yeah.
Right. Was that looked at? Because I'm not being stupid here. I've watched both legs through other means, and that's all I'm saying on it. Right.
Yeah.
Watched through other means, and then it was never even brought up. No decision over any leg was brought up, and you said it was, and I was like, all right, that penalty, the way the replays came up, it looked like it was being checked. Commentators never said a thing. So I was like, are they checking it, or is it not able to be checked?
For us, it was being checked, but even on the TV, you could see he fell over himself. He did fall over himself.
I mean, I'm not saying it was, but it was just one of them. I only got to see it live. I didn't get to see a replay. The commentator was either blissfully unaware to it, or they just never got any replays up. So I only saw a quick reaction of it, and from live, it looked it. I'm guessing because there wasn't much uproar on Facebook, and you're saying it's not, that it wasn't. It wasn't.
I'm going to bring Rory in there now, and first of all, I've told him to
check his glasses, Rory. I've told him to get better glasses.
It's all right, lads. Don't worry about it. I did get a bit worried. I thought, I don't want to upset him.
No. I apologise totally. I see a little bit come up on the left here with the comments, and I can't multitask. I was trying to listen to Brad and read at the same time.
No worries, mate. No worries at all.
Did you think we got what we deserved, didn't we, Rory?
It was shocking tonight, wasn't it? It was a bit toothless going forward. I do feel like the ref made a few errors though. Like I think there was a penalty shout at the end of the first half that should have been given. I feel like in the replay it looked like Chowdhury's foot didn't get touched, but I think like if you just slow it down properly and look at it, I reckon it was a pen. But yeah, I'm worried that this is going to lead to us going down in the league as well. A bit of demoralisation, so after doing so well in the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we've only lost one before tonight. We'd only lost one in 15. It is how we react to this. And I think when we play Arsenal at the weekend, we're going to see the likes of Castagna and Ricardo back. Obviously, I'm reminded very much, and you look too young for this, Rory. Brad will probably remember the Wickham game when we got Wickham in the FA Cup. We lost to them, who were like.
What year was that?
I'm going back to O'Neill days. I'm going back to this shirt almost.
Mine O'Neill days.
No, God, Wickham beat us. That was in 2001.
Mario, if you wait, I'll bring you in a minute. By the way,
a couple of years ago, we went out to
final against Wickham in 2001. Peter Taylor was in charge, and they got a guy off teletext because they were low on numbers, and he scored the winner.
Yeah, that's the guy.
I could have the year wrong, by the way. It could have been 2000, but I know it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you, Brad. You know more than me. Rory, I said this in the pre-match show. Is it such a bad thing that we've... I mean, yes, we want to win every game. I'm a fan, of course I want to win every game. Is it such a bad thing, as Brett said there? You know, you've got Man City, you've got Man United, you've got Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. They're all still in Europe. They're all still fighting on that extra front, which we haven't now. Is that going to work in our favour, do you think?
Well, it definitely can do. I mean, less games is better for everyone at the club, I guess. And with the amount of players that have been injured at all the top 6 clubs this season, this gives Leicester a way better chance of giving the players rest in the midweek and then getting their best 11 out on the weekend when they can. Which, I mean, they were injured. A lot of players were injured last season. It's been a bit better this season. We've got Vardy and stuff. But yeah, it's still looking really good in the league, isn't it? I think that's what we can focus on.
It is, and let's say, Brad, you know, it's not a bad season still, is it, so far? You know, at some
No, of course
point,
it's not.
you know,
No, of course it's not.
are we sitting here and going, yeah, we're going to win the Premier League, yeah, we're going to win the FA Cup, yeah, we're going to win the Europa League. I used to joke that the treble was on, but we weren't necessarily going to win every single. We're not Man City.
No, we're not. But you know, we're also well proven that you don't need to be Man City to win things in England. But look, at the end of the day, we probably got a bit naive all around, didn't we? Us as fans as well. We saw Slavia Prague and went, oh, "Hey, that's it, we're through." And maybe it almost looked like a performance where the players couldn't shake that from the head. They kind of sleepwalking towards what they thought was going to be an automatic win, whether it be 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever. And that's just one of them. It's caught us all by surprise. I mean, if we'd have been sat here going, "Oh, we've just lost 3-2 on aggregate to AC Milan," we wouldn't be too bothered. We'd be a bit more chuffed. It's because of and it's again no disrespect to them. I'm not going to change my opinion of them in a ranking of ability just because they've won and beat us tonight. But you know, against this sort of opposition, it was expected. There wasn't many out there that didn't expect us to get through.
Cengiz Under needs to leave the starting 11, and I think
I have a question for you.
We're coming to that. We're going to say hello to Mario. I don't know if your camera's obviously not working, but we can hear you, Mario.
Is it wrong to jerk off to my dad?
Sorry?
Oh, kick him off, kick him off, kick him off, kick him off, just kick him off, kick him off, kick him off, just kick him off. He was saying some profanities, just kick him off. Just kick him off.
I could, like you said, I was trying to find the button there to get rid of him. Yeah, I've been screaming for Under, Rory and Brad, both
really,
of you.
I think you're one of the only people I've spoken to who's an Under fan. I mean, most of the people in Leicester are saying he's awful. He's not filled the wing position like he should have done, and I think it wouldn't be wrong to sell him off or not sign him on loan. So
yes, yeah, it's. I think his trouble is that Albrighton's come good this season, and Albrighton has been starting a lot, so Under's chances have been limited. But Brad, he hasn't, and I wanted him to do well because I thought at times he showed. He's gone. He showed that there was times that he had got it, but it just wasn't again that word consistent.
No, it was disappointing, wasn't it? And me and you have both come out and spoke praises on Under. But, I mean, defensively, he did a good job. I have to point that out. That's one argument I would say. Unlike some of the options we've got on right wing, he does get back and do good defensive work. He made a few vital blocks, especially in that first half. But I think the biggest problem was what you pointed out. Just when he had the bit between his teeth, and he seems, unfortunately, one of them that seems to have a problem on that side. It has to be a confidence thing, because once, like you said, Albrighton found his form, and that's great to see. And obviously, we love to see that players in form from any part of it. You know, he got knocked out of that starting 11, and it seems to have not done him any favours, because he just seemed to try too hard today. When going forward, he tried to make passes that just weren't on. I mean, if we could bring up a match thing like they do on Sky, I'd be circling images for you of where he is and plays in space, and go and look at the option he's taken on them passes, because some of them were ridiculous, and he just seemed to have a bit of, you know, confidence zipped out of him.
We couldn't seem to. You know, I was looking at Soyuncu, and he was the final ball just wasn't good enough, and that is from. Whether it be from Soyuncu, there's a couple of, points where they pick out, the player. But I mean, the Premier League players, I expect them to have 2 or 3 good passes a game. But overall, the pass rate was absolutely shocking. The fact that we hardly ever found one of our own players.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was like that all night, wasn't it? And that, there was a lot of points in the game where the commentator found himself saying, and you felt the same. He was saying that sums up Leicester's night, and it was a bad night at the office. I mean, I'm probably going to cause some uproar here, and this is just what I'm doing. It's just what we do on the show.
Go for it.
But look, I will never ever discredit him as a player. as his ability, and he can still find goals, and he's sure as hell still good enough to do it. All I'm pointing out is a natural decrease in something. He's kept his pace, but has he lost his first touch control ability? And I'm on about Jamie Vardy. I know he's the gift of God at Leicester, and he's a legend of the club. I mean, he's going to go down in history for the club. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying he's not a quality player, but has he lost a bit of technicality about his game? Where he's kept his pace, which is inhuman at his age, has he lost a bit of technical in his game? Is that where it's catching up on his age? Because that wasn't the first time tonight I've seen Jamie Vardy have a bit of a naff first touch. I know he got unfortunate with the handball one, which is not what I'm just talking about. I'm not just singling that out, but I know that one's probably going to get flagged up as the only thing I've got to go on it. No, he's had a few bad touches in the box over the last 3 or 4 months when he's been playing. Is that the part of Jamie Vardy that we're going to see fading for the next couple of months? Just his technical side of it.
Yeah.
And that's just what I'm throwing out there. It might start a fire, and I might have pitch talks and riots outside my house for it. And I'm just trying to think. I've seen something over the last couple of weeks in Vardy that while we're unbelievably astounded, he's still got the state pace and stamina to keep going at 34 years of age and still finding the back of net. Is that where he's losing it?
Yeah.
Is that where we're missing what he's losing?
It's a good point, and one that was made earlier in the group. And if anybody that disagrees with Brad, message me and I'll give you his address. Stephen, I've left that up there because this podcast is therapy after that result. take a seat on the couch, lay back.
Well, we didn't announce it, but we charge by the hour, so we've got to keep this going for another 29 minutes. So we'll get in touch, Stephen, if it goes over an hour, we'll charge you for it. If not, it's free.
Vardy has lost its pace. Brad, you were right about Vardy. Last injury has done him. Bronze Plumber, Brad, don't talk that way, no matter how true. Stephen here, Brad, you were spot on about Vardy. He's not the same player. I agree. I mean, it was posted, like I say, in the group, and he's the problem is that I don't think he was getting the service tonight. I think your friend Ryan messaged me saying like, bye-bye Leicester out the Europa League and all that. And he sent a message saying, when's Vardy coming on? I've got to be totally honest with you. I don't think we could have had Messi and Ronaldo come on as a substitution and we'd have done any better in that game. I think it was just one of those.
No, and like I said, and we've made it quite blatantly obvious all night, and a lot of people in agreement. Nobody was above a 4 today for their effort and performance-wise, even when it did pick up a little bit. But like I said, tonight, when it struggled the most, the one man we've been so reliant on, and we've been sitting there biting our nails, waiting for that moment when we see our prodigal son disappear into the night, and he has to hang up them boots. And I hope I am wrong, I really do, but clearly I'm not the only one that's had a keen eye on the last 6-7 performances of Jamie Vardy and noticed maybe something that others haven't, where he is, unfortunately, it's catching up to him.
It will do at some point, and there's long seasons.
Well, he's human, isn't he? He's human, and it's starting to see. We're starting to see he's human.
Yeah, and of course we've not just got the Premier League. We've had the Europa League, we've had the League Cup, and this is going to happen if we are successful moving on down the seasons. Heightens the fact that we do need, and we're being linked with Ivan Toomey. And I don't want to get into saying whether he's the right person or not. I'm just saying who we're being linked with. Yeah. We do, and unfortunately, we need players in. We need maybe somebody who's not under to come in still on that position. Whether we've got the money or not, unfortunately, with the way things are and how our owners are with their business, etc., who knows? But you did mention what you were going to give the players. Let's have a look. Alan Bennett, who I can always say, straight after, within sort of 2 or 3 minutes of the final whistle going, and you've probably seen this in the group, lets us know his thoughts on the game. And basically, and I think he did well to actually pick a man of the match out of that lot, I'll tell you. But he did go for Ndidi. He gave the team 4. and he gave the manager 4. And I've got to be totally honest with you, I think he's just about spot on there.
I think it's generous to a point as for parts of the game, but yeah, 4, and I suppose if you're talking a very little light in a very dark game for Leicester, in the sense it was a poor performance. Indeed, he was probably one of the names I heard the most doing his job again, and considering he didn't do well at all. And by that I mean he wasn't the usual, did he? Because he gave the ball away. No one was susceptible today, like I've said. The subs weren't, and he wasn't susceptible to it. I think that's probably I think that's fair.
Got Arsenal on Sunday. I guess it is a chance, let's get back on the bike and let's get riding again. We there could be worse teams we could be playing.
Well, yeah, obviously, but this is the point in the show now where I can relate back to what I said earlier, where people don't need to get carried away with this defeat, because, like you said, Chris, I would imagine, just a quick one here, it will be Castagne, it will be Ricardo back in, we may even see Albrighton with Thomas, because they've been linking up well until tonight. They had an off day, like we said, but we'll see regular players that play together and quick attacking players. Maybe that will get Vardy going, because he'll have Harvey Barnes. The one thing I will say about that mini spell we had when them players were on is you could see there was a bit more trust in what they were doing, a bit more belief they could pass the ball where they wanted it. Didn't last long, granted. We take that to Arsenal, we'll beat them. We'll beat Arsenal. We'll be back by then.
And yeah, Brett, no, that was just the overall team performance was 4. Mad, I think, always is good for that spot, but needs the fan support. Yeah, let's not get on to Perez, shall we? Having said that, I don't think he could have done any worse, to be honest with you.
No.
Who have we got fit to play Sunday? Everybody bar Maddison, Fofana, and Wes Morgan, I think.
Well, and Pratt. Obviously, Pratt's not back yet. Dennis Pratt's not back.
You see, that's the thing, you see. I think
we're missing him as well. We're missing him as well on the point.
Pratt
He was the engine that ticked over when them players were out through that period as well. I think we really have missed him in that midfield.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to say hello to Simpy. He's an Arsenal fan. Welcome along, Simpy. Yeah, I'm sure you enjoyed tonight. It was a bit tight for you, though. You only just made it through by the skin of your teeth, but I'd have taken that. So the unshown man of the match. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Well, I mean, you pick, like I said, you're literally picking a name for picking it. Yeah. I feel at the time.
Yeah. All eyes on Sunday lunchtime now. Yes, indeed. Maddison injury worries me a lot. That's what we were saying, wasn't it? If Maddison was injured, Pratt was the guy that came in. And I think now, when we looked at the January transfer window and said, why are we going for an attacking midfielder? I think we can see now that's what we were possibly lacking tonight.
Yeah, we were. Let's be honest. But this is an area that's been stretched, and I think we were just hoping we could get through it with Pratt's injuries, because, like I said, when he's played, I think Dennis Pratt's is quite loved between the Leicester fans. He's almost like an unsung hero. It's a bit unfortunate at times to not get more game time than he has done. I know injuries have played a part in it. He's out again, obviously, like I said, not sure for how much longer, but when he originally had it, it was 3 months. And they're probably just hoping to get through with Maddison, Ndidi, and Tielemans, and give Dennis Pratt time to come back and at least be on the training ground, training fully before he was needed to be used. But that's where we're missing at the moment. We are missing that, and we're going to have to find a way. The difference is, every time we've had a game like this, we've bounced back. So if we keep that, I'm not worried right now about our form taking a plunder, even after tonight's game.
I think just in there, Tongue in cheek, Justin, but I know where you're coming from. Play Warden Djokovic in midfield can't be any worse. I tell you what,
Might have scored.
if reincarnation exists, I am coming back as Djokovic because he must be on a really good wage to only get on the team sheets when we play in Europe. Maybe being a little bit unfair to him. I wonder what Blue Van Man will have to say. I wouldn't like to think, Rory. I wouldn't like to think, mate. It's nice to see Damari Gray come at the end, though. Elbow cough. But, well, you know, people moaned about him when he was here, and you know, maybe he could have come. You know, maybe he was the person. I don't know for that Maddison role. Who knows? Do you think Brendan Rodgers should have put Fuchs on at right back? Definitely not for me.
Well, I mean, I don't think Amati did too much wrong. In fact, the only, you know, the change of pace should have happened at half time for me personally. I said that too. They're going to come on at half time, and they probably should have. It might have changed the game a bit. You know, if that 10-minute spell comes at the start and we catch them a bit jittery, might have been a different result. You know, that's another thing that gives the manager a 4 for me, because when he made them changes, they weren't at the right time, in my opinion. You've done the job at half time. You've got through without conceding. You've still got plenty of time. Now is the best time to attack them and get at them, because they were going to come and looking for a goal. And when they did that, we know what happened afterwards, obviously. But
yeah, I mean, a comment here from Callum. Casper's distribution has been awful in recent years. Just talking of Casper, and I did make a note of this, and I'm just trying to find it on here. We were either 1-0 down or 2-0 down, and I'm just trying to find the notes here. Look, it's nothing. Either way, whether we're 1-0 down or 2-0 down, at some point, Casper. I'm looking at the first half. That's why. I mean, notes for the first half, and this was in the second half. 84 minutes. We're 2-0 down.
Passing it around the box.
And we're passing it around. We're playing passy between the goalkeeper and 2 defenders. Fucking hell, shoot the ball straight up the field, get it into their box. They're going to be sat there thinking, oh, just stand here and wait. Pass it around between the goalkeeper and a couple of defenders for the last 5 minutes. Why don't you?
Yeah, that's exactly what Slavia Prague must have. But Slavia Prague must have been pinching themselves. Because they must. That was the more worrying thing, and it's why it's gone down so badly as a performance on a whole collective whole, is because at no point did they look like scoring. Yes, they had that chance, but that's when I got worried. Not because I thought, oh, they're going to score because they keep having chances. That was their first chance of that half in the first half. And I just thought the worrying thing is for me is, like I said, this is the first time since Liverpool away and Aston Villa at home, I was sat here watching the game going, we're not going to score. And we're going to need 2 tonight if we're going to do it, because it will be typical Leicester, because they never do things easily, for Leicester to be 1-0 up and them to peg us back. That's what I thought was going to happen. What happened was we just never got going. We had a false start where we thought the engine was going to tick over, and it didn't. And they got a second. And like you said, it was frustrating. I have to admit, it was the most frustrating part of the match, because I was sat there doing exactly the same, mate. I was thinking, the tie might be gone, but this isn't a case of you're playing Man City at home. It's the 88th minute. It's 3-0 Man City. There's no way back into it. Let's not make it any less. This was, let's go out with a bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for 170 minutes of football, we never went at them with enough prowess to get a result or put us in a position where the result was in doubt.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this because he's not necessarily my favourite co-commentator, but I don't particularly have anything against him, and that's Steve McManaman. And in fairness to him, I've only had BT Sport this year for the Europa League, so I haven't heard him a lot in the past. when I've heard him the few times he's been covering Leicester games, he's been very complimentary of us. And his criticism today of Leicester was exactly what we've been saying here as fans, and he's saying it as a pundit, that team that was out there should have put it to bed. We should have won, and with the first, we've gone out as an English team, with the first English team to go out. Good evening to, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce your name, Czech Republic Power.
Credit fair play for coming on with that.
Credit to you. You got the result. Good luck. He kind of summed it up. We had 11 shots. We weren't shot shy particularly. Again, I could argue whether those are going to be on target or not. But I think you said to me, I think it was yourself that said to me that I can stomach losing if we go down fighting.
Yeah. I've probably a lot of people that said that. I've always said it though. I've always said it when we lose a game. I've got no issues, and I know our special guest who couldn't be on tonight because it's a late night and that he's got family. Totally understandable. But Julian Watts says it, doesn't he? He says Martin would never let them go out lose a game without a fight. And I remember some games we lost, but you could see the fight in it. I mean, I remember one, and I'm sorry for bringing it up. I know tonight's been depressing as it is with the result, but I remember us same sort of situation. We had stack of injuries, barely had a first team to throw together, and we lost 6-2 to Manchester United. Back in the 90s, the late end of it, we lost 6-2. And Theo Zagorakis, I think, scored that peach. Yeah. And even then, they kept going. Today, I could have taken us losing or drawing 1-1 if the effort was there, and that's what's most upsetting. That's what's most upsetting for fans today, and I get it. But I re-emphasise it again. Sleep it off. Watch the highlights if you want to go to sleep, because that will give you that, shut it off after half time, otherwise it will give you nightmares. But aside from that, get your head down, rest up, enjoy the start of the weekend tomorrow night, and let's look forward to Sunday, because they can bounce back. They've done it before. I
love Tasty. At least they make a decent lager in the Czech Republic. There's always going to be a silver lining. There's always going to be a silver lining. Tasty, I like it. Nathan, absolutely love this comment here. If Casper had taken his corset off, there would have been no problem saving that second goal.
Stupid.
If I had a prize for the comment of the night, we should have to try and do this. Best comment of the night gets a prize. That would have won it today, Nathan. Nice one. Nice one. Yeah. Everybody's saying we need a new captain. We need a new captain, and I haven't been putting them up, to be honest with you. But there's 3 or 4 comments that have been coming up saying we need a new captain. You know my thoughts on goalkeepers as captains, not just Casper, but Casper's, just to say, and you always point out that there's been some very good captains that have been goalkeepers over the years, and I know you're one of the founding members of the Goalkeepers Should Be Captains Association, but to be honest with you, the fact of whether Casper was captain tonight or Evans or Soyuncu or Vardy, whoever, that wouldn't have made any difference anyway.
No, and I'm not going to reiterate my same points I make about it, because I'm just a goalkeeper. I can only speak from experience. I can only name the same names I could name every time someone brings this point up. And you know what it is? He's been captain for a while now, and he's been vice captain way before that. It's a natural order of how things get moved forward. Yes, at times we've seen the captaincy go to Tillemans or Maddison. That's tended to be when we're playing a different structure. And sometimes that happens in natural teams. It doesn't matter, whether the captain's injured or they're playing a different style and they want to give the vice captain a bit more of a practice role at it. I don't know, but you do see it. you say take the captaincy off and we need a new captain. He's been captain for what? Like I said, 2 seasons. He's been captain for a while, hasn't he? I mean, proper captain. I mean, on the pitch captain. Yeah. I know Wes Morgan technically was the captain in the house. You know, that was the one that was put down on the team thing under captain. It was Morgan. But on the pitch, you know, predominantly he is the voice of reason. He's the captain. Since he's been captain, we've got up to 5th, qualified for the Europa League. We're joint 2nd in the league, albeit only behind Man City because they're absolutely on a different planet. We're in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup and we're looking comfortably, and we're 16 points ahead of former Premier League last year's champions Liverpool in the league. Is he not? You ask your captain to lead from the front and take your men out there. You know, take your men out there and lead the fight. You know, take your men into battle. And you're telling me he doesn't do that? We hear him. He's one of the most consistent voices out there, so the players are paying attention and listen to it because they react.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, just for me...
what more has a captain got to do? That's just my question. What more has a captain got to do? Yeah, you'll lose games. Yeah, you'll play bad every so often. Yeah. But he's not let us down. I can't remember the last time Casper had a mistake in him.
I like I say, for me, I prefer outfield players to be captain.
That's fine. But anyone that has that opinion, fine. Brilliant.
You know, but like you said, you know, it would have made no difference tonight whoever was been captain, you know.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Because, you know, you can hear him, like you say, we always hear him shout, and you can't fault his passion and what have you. I think we've kind of rinsed it out to dry tonight, haven't we? I honestly, and I did say this before, and I mentioned it earlier, I don't know whether it was again, I could get roasted for this. I did say, would going out of the Europa League be the end of the world? And I didn't know how I'd feel sat here having got knocked out of the Europa League, annoyed because of the performance, but I honestly think it will do us better in the Premier League. And if we can get into the Champions League next season, it's that next step on the ladder, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. And that's exactly what Brendan will be doing, and the backroom staff. And that's exactly how the players will go forward mentally with it, because they've got to take the positive mentality out of it. Yeah, we're out of the competition, but we're all we were after the season was improvements on last season. And realistically, when you're still in the FA Cup, you're still fighting in the Europa League. You know, before tonight, if you said to me at the start of the season, Brad, I know what happened last season, it was a bummer. Man U were 14 points behind Court. Yeah, you end up 5th. Your response at the same point when it started to fall apart is, yes, you're going to be out of Europa League, but you're going to be in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and your team is going to be taking on more responsibility, more matches, and you're going to be second, well, joint second, right? Third on order, a goal difference, but joint second points wise. Snap your hand off for it going into March. If you're telling me in March Leicester are joint second in the Premier League and bowing out, unfortunately, but still at that point in Europe, and you know, just bowing out of Europe, still in the FA Cup, and are even better league-wise than what they're doing with more games after that mentality, I'm happy with it. Like I said, when will I get concerned about a game like this? If we play badly against Arsenal.
Yeah. Sorry, Tasty. Yeah, it possibly was my fault then. No, if you knew what my predictions were like, you'd know that wasn't true. I don't think I've got one score prediction right this season so far. I'm just going to put this out, and I put this up before, and another Prague fan here, Cood, is that? Cowd? It was a pleasure to play with you. Shh, don't tell anybody. Hope you don't hate us too much. Good luck in the Premier League. I hope we'll meet in the Champions League next season. Cood, you deserved it tonight. You were the better team. Well, you deserved it over 2 legs. You did what you had to do. And apparently your manager was a Leicester fan growing up, and his favourite player was Gary Lineker. And I was at school with Gary Lineker in the same class, so that really makes me feel old looking at him. And, but you deserved it. I can't knock the team performance. You deserved it.
And all the best to your team, Cood. And if you get drawn against Spurs, just do the same to them as you just done to us, mate. Make me feel better. Make us all feel better tonight.
I'll tell you, if you do it against, if you draw Man United or Arsenal, stuff them as well.
Yeah. We're not bitter at all now, but if we could pick one, Spurs would do.
By somebody from Slavia, Lux is saying here. Cal, thanks, but I'm not even thinking about winning UEL. I just want to play good games and show Europe we can play football. I mean, and Simpy, go easy on Arsenal. No, mate. I tell you what, watch the show tomorrow night. I know you weren't able to come on it, but you're going to do the written version of the opposition view for me on LeicesterTillIDie.com. Appreciate that, mate, for doing that. But we've got a gentleman coming on, and I have got a few. Let's have a bit of banter for the opposition show tomorrow night. I've also got
troops on.
Sorry?
You got troops on. That'll bring banter.
No.
Former Arsenal fan TV member. Oh, wow, I'm not feeling in
there. No, I haven't. But I'll tell you what I have got tomorrow night. I've got a pair of binoculars because I had to look down the league and I couldn't see Arsenal. So I bought a pair of binoculars in the hope that I'll be able to.
He's giving praise in the comments. Don't you keep winding him up.
Simmer had a very good game. He did indeed. Yes. You
but
must
no,
know...
I still wouldn't buy. I still wouldn't jump down that as soon as after one good game. It'd be like a Euro signing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
One good tournament doesn't make a good player.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's a point made there, and I'm we're kind of winding up on this. But did we underestimate Czech football teams here tonight, or over the 2 legs? We kind of said, "Oh, it's a great draw. It's only the Czech Republic." Sorry, showing my age there again. It's only the Czech Republic, but I think we did underestimate them a little bit.
There's no maybe about it, mate. We underestimated them, and that's why I give them more credit, because they never underestimated us. They did their homework. I'm not saying that our guys didn't. I'm sure they did, and I'm not going to question or lay the blame at anyone's reason for what it is. At the end of the day, you're paying players to come on the pitch and do a job for you, and tonight was just one of them. For whatever reason, the lads will know. Brandon will know 100% hand on heart what the reason was tonight. And like I said, we move on. Like we will see. I'm hope literally in terms of performance as well. But come Sunday, you will see a completely different Leicester lineup and performance. I'm hoping will come with that on Sunday.
Fingers crossed. Justin, I don't know Mick Bruin. Should I know Mick Bruin? Explain to me more sometime. I don't. Gonna say to Brad, thank you very much, young man. For joining us there. And thank you for calming down before you came on. And I'm going to buy a beat machine. And I reiterate my own apologies to Rory for earlier, and thank you for digging me out of the brown poo-poo there.
Yeah. Now just remember, Chris, keep this going for another minute and 20 seconds, because we get therapy free tonight, and after tonight I want some compensation. So you charge them, mate. You charge them price. Just find them in the comments, and we'll sort them out. This one's not going to be free. It's over for a minute. We need the revenue.
Good. Hey, Brett, you're welcome, mate. Thanks for joining us, and hope the missus is well. How is she doing?
She's doing fine.
Brad's missing. He's doing fine, says Brad. Brad, I will see you 2:45 approximately, I think, on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll have to make sure I'm awake for the game, but I'm sure I will be, because I'd like to do the double over Arsenal this season. That'll definitely cheer up the Europa League Blues.
Right. Was in the same class as Lineker. If he was at the City of Leicester Boys School, I was in the same maths class and what have you, because of course, obviously, the further you go up the senior school, you get split up and whatever. But I was in the same physics, maths, so there's a few groups. Name doesn't ring a bell, but I'm 60 in a few weeks' time. The old memory's not what it used to be, mate. But do say hello to him. He may remember me. I doubt it, but you never know. Say hello to me. Say hello to him for me, Justin. Thanks, everybody. Brett is going to go off and give Brad his missus's best wishes. And see you on Sunday, Brad. Thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, I'll see you Sunday.
We're over the hour. We've dragged it out. We're on double time now.
Right, that's it. Yeah, per second as well. Brilliant. Nice work, mate. And thanks everybody for tonight. And thanks Rory for coming on. And I'm glad I stopped him. I'm glad I stopped that happening.
I can't multitask. I can't listen and read at the same time. All right, mate. See you on Sunday. Take care, bud.
Yeah, see you Sunday.
Cheers. Yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Josh for coming on. I won't say thanks to the other guy. I didn't really hear even what he said. I don't think it was very nice, so he went. But no, thanks to Rory for coming on, and thanks to Josh for sorting me out. Hey, we go again Sunday. We have got Friday. Convertible will come. I can actually have a lie-in because I'm not going to do the Europa League draw now. Hey, every cloud, as they say. But the opposition view tomorrow night with Gooner Rich. 7 o'clock, we'll be on here having a bit of banter with the Gooner fan ahead of Sunday's game. Then on Sunday, it's a 12 o'clock kickoff, which means about 10 past 11, 10 past 11, we're doing the pre-match show once the team's been announced. And then we're going to be doing a live watch-along. So join us for that on Sunday. We're not going to be doing the commentary. We're not going to say, oh, the A's past to B and C's past to... You can watch it. It'd be like down the pub. Watch it on the telly. Join in the chat with me and Josh. And we'll be doing that watch-along on Sunday at 12 o'clock. And then 2:45 approximately, Jesus will be back here, Josh with me, and we will be doing the post-match show when hopefully we'll be talking about another win for Leicester, back onto winning ways. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. Sorry it wasn't under better circumstances, but hey, we go again on Sunday. Stay safe, and I'll see you then. Good night now.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.